Mark Forsthoffer is Vice President of Federal Sales for Mechanical Orchard. It's great to see you, Mark. Thanks for joining me.
Pleasure.
What are the challenges that you've seen, especially in the C services, in doing legacy to digital transformations? That's a big leap that a lot of these organizations are trying to make.
It is, and it's not a leap that hasn't been tried. I think that this leap has been tried and billions have been spent, and the remains of really audacious contracts are out there, and I think there are really good reasons why they are there, and some parts of the community we're in here thinks of this word modernization actually as a bad word, because so I think the challenge, though, if we're going to answer that question, is really what the business cares about or the mission cares about, which is getting to this state of equivalence such that you can prove that the new system does what the old system did. Very difficult. It's very difficult because often these systems, and I'm speaking specifically of systems that are run on languages that are very archaic, like COBOL and mainframes, these systems run heartbeat operations, payroll, promotions, operations and maintenance of things. There is no disruption that can be tolerated. So therefore, the risk of something going wrong, there is no tolerance for that. So that just adds to all this. And then to make this really interesting, these systems often have a very proprietary stack. The code base that they run is largely a mystery. Imagine how many contractors have customized that over the years. And the people that know it are very few to be found, especially today. So it's like a state of a kind of paralysis where the lock-in is kind of at the highest level. And I think that's a big, big challenge. That's how I answer that.
How desirable is strict, straight up equivalence, though? Because if the new system does exactly what the old system does, it strikes me there's been no accounting for potential changes in business processes. There's been no analysis of, do we need to take all the steps that we took before, or do we want to take them in the same order in which we took them before?
I love that. You're describing the reason why we want to modernize in the first place. It's not to keep things the same. It's to do new things with the information we have. And I will posit that these contracts that were set out in the past that have failed, that was the aim. And the process to get there usually is we will try to learn about the system. We will try to build new things in that system. And in kind of a waterfall approach at the big bang at the end, the cutover will really, really suffer. It's like that diagonal line to go from current state to future state. That straight line, there are kind of dragons in the way, and the churn of the complexity of that organization and change always gets in the way. So what we propose is not to say that you're not going to do that, but a new step of getting to equivalence, kind of the lower leg of that triangle, quickly and iteratively, such that you can then modernize more easily, add features more easily, because it's in a modern stack. It's in a stack that people get, people understand, people can have their contractors iterate on and re-architect very gracefully.
As you think of that, as you describe that track, then, the Stephen Covey concept, begin with the end in mind, comes to my mind. That strikes me, that's probably the most important thing to succeed in the scenario that you just laid out. Is that a fair idea?
It's perfect. And the end in mind, we think, is creating a foundation that doesn't take forever, that's iterative and fast, by which you can then re-architect upon. And if proving that the new system or new parts of the system does what the old system did is the most important thing, then that end we bring to the front. And we design a process that captures not just the way the system functions, but the way data flows through the system, and makes a behavioral model that can be played back on demand, that you can now prove auditably with 100% confidence that incrementally I can make these claims or these proofs that the new system does what the old system did. And then you can imagine, Francis, like how an AI-powered modernization team working from a COBOL stack that is proprietary and a mystery versus that team working from iterative slices that are in a fully documented, modernized framework in the cloud, which will perform better to get to that ultimate goal, which is that modernized, reimagined system.
Final thought I want to explore with you, Mark. As much as we satirize these cylinders of excellence that exist within the Pentagon, these systems inevitably have to interface with other systems. In the course of the modernization efforts that you've seen, what have been the markers of success and what have been the markers of difficulty in integrating systems so that they can continue to talk to each other and perform the functions that they need to function by interacting with each other in the midst of these transformations?
This is why we do what we do. We have found, and I was talking to an agency just on Monday who went through a large process of analyzing the business logic with the hope that a partner can reimagine the thing. And what they found is that analysis, and they're using powerful AI tools they found that that analysis cannot comprehend the complexity and integrations that are in that system such that they can accurately make progress on that, accurately change that. Our process focuses on the integrations up front, the data flows that give us that map. And when we do these incremental cutovers, making it transparent to the original system, integrations maintained, is a critical part of that. You can't incrementally cut over if everything is broken along the way. So we incorporate that into our strategy at the heart.